Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, where today I want to spend a little bit of time talking about a word that some people have a really big pushback against, one that can actually be quite aggressive and definitely very limiting when it comes to any type of behaviour change. It's a word that's used all the time in the circles that I kind of hang around in, and unfortunately the general consensus is that it only applies to people who are usually labelled in society as addicts. We're talking about the word recovery, so if you're open to what might be a different way of looking at it, one that steps away from the rigid and often restrictive norms connected to it in the past, let's get into it. As I said before, recovery is often misunderstood as something we only pursue when addiction has taken hold or when mental health symptoms become overwhelming. But at the Liberation Place, we define recovery in a little bit of a different way. To us, recovery isn't only about substances, behaviours or diagnoses. It's about reclaiming ourselves, not fixing who we are, but recovering what's always been there beneath the pain, the suffering, the patterns of behaviour, and the protective adaptations. Recovery is the act of returning to our true sense of self, the self that existed before we learned to hide, to perform, to please, to numb, or to control in order to survive. It's about gently peeling back those layers that suffering built around us and slowly rediscovering our values, our beliefs, our voice, and our capacity to live a life with purpose. It's about stepping away from a life that's shaped by reaction and stepping into a life that's shaped by intention. So many of us lost sight of who we are because we were too busy trying to be who we thought we needed to be for others. We coped in ways that made sense at the time, but those same coping strategies eventually started to define us. Recovery actually allows us to ask, who am I? I mean, really, who am I? When I'm not trying to earn love, avoid rejection, numb pain, or prove my worth. What do I value? What do I believe in? And how do I want to show up in the world around me? At its heart, recovery is not a destination. It's a process of becoming more aligned with our beliefs, becoming more connected to our values, becoming more present in our relationships, more honest with ourselves, and more capable of taking action that reflects who we truly want to be. And when we look at it like this, it means that recovery is for everyone. It's not only reserved for those with visible or diagnosable struggles. It's for anyone who's ever felt disconnected, ashamed, unseen, unfulfilled, or stuck in patterns that no longer reflect who they really want to be. It's for those of us who, at some point in time, might have said something like, there has to be more to life than this, and then dared to find out what that more might look like. At the Liberation Place, we definitely don't believe in labelling people as addicts, disordered, or broken. These words carry shame, they limit identity, and they focus on what's wrong rather than what's possible. We believe you are not a label. You're a person, and like all people, you're capable of healing, growing, and becoming. You don't need to call yourself anything in order to deserve change, and you definitely don't need to prove your suffering to earn support. If something in your life isn't working, if a behaviour, a relationship, a belief, or a pattern is holding you back, then you belong here. The tools and practices we use at the Liberation Place are for anyone that's ready to live more intentionally. Whether you're trying to break free from addictive cycles, regulate your emotions, communicate more clearly, or simply understand yourself more deeply, the work we do is about creating meaningful, sustainable change without shame and without labels. Because living the life I want to live means becoming the person you want to be, not being the person you've had to be in order to survive. At the Liberation Place, recovery is about helping you reconnect with your internal world, understand the stories and the beliefs that guide your behaviour, develop emotional awareness, and live according to a values-based system that brings meaning, direction, and fulfillment. If this is something that interests you and you want to get some information about what we do, as well as how we do it, take a look around the website that's connected to this particular video. If you want to know more, come join any of the online meetings that we facilitate for free on Zoom every single week. I'll leave a link to a page containing more information about these groups in the description below. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to get all the latest from me and the Liberation Place. Hope to see you again soon. Take care, be safe, and be well.